It's time for you to elevate your wave music with these transition tips that I'm about to show you in this video. Let's go! What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Vibe Synthetic. Today I'll show you guys 5 transition tips that is gonna be very useful for your production, and I'm gonna use it in my production session that I did for my latest song. It's gonna be in Logic Pro, so let's check it out. Transition tip number 1 is to adjust the time signatures for your kicks and your snares. Now what I mean by this is basically the kick and the snares are getting faster towards the end of the bar. This will create some kind of hype, some kind of intense climax to your mixes before the next bar gets in. I have soloed out my kicks and my snares. Now if you were to look at the MIDI pattern, basically with the kicks and the snares in this way, it will create a bit of tension. As you can see the time signatures here, it goes from a 16 to 32 and then all the way to 64, and I've adjusted the velocities as well. It's from a lower velocity all the way to a higher velocity, so it creates more like a human feel. So this kind of time signature change will actually create a very good sort of like tension before the next bar comes in. It will sound like this in the whole build up, so you guys can have a listen. Now tip number 2 is to add in sound effects. Now sound effects, depending on what you're choosing, will create a bit of tension before the next bar comes in. In this case, I'm going to use an alarm sound, or more like a signal sound, which is very alarming and very disturbing. That will create some sort of like tension and some sort of curiosity before the next bar comes in. Now I do have a sound effect here. It's also the siren. It's a pack that I got from a Cyberwave collective. Now that's one awesome wave collective that I've been exploring into, and I recently bought their pack. You guys can find the pack itself in the description box below. For now, I'm using this Sage siren sound. Shoutouts to Sage as well. He is one of my favorite. As you can see, the siren, I have added an EQ, a compressor, and a wider as well, just to create depth to the sound. You guys can hear the siren just after the time signature change of the kicks and the snares. As you guys can hear from that, it creates a bit more tension before the next hype bar comes in. Tip number 3, bass drops. Now bass drops basically makes the whole track calm down into a very low frequency kind of area. Now this makes actually the whole tension and curiosity vibe within your arrangement itself before leading up to the higher or the more hyped bar that you're gonna put into your production. This bass drop, I designed it my own on Massive. Let me just open Massive and show you guys what I did for this bass drop. I use an envelope to raise the noise and also the phase modulation, so it creates an effect where when the bass drops, the whole sound character change as well. I also drop to a lower pitch of 24, and that creates like a very deeper sine wave kind of bass drop. I'm gonna let you guys listen to just the bass drop itself. Now that sounds sick, right? I'm gonna play it with the whole arrangement so that you guys can hear it. Now tip number 4 is to use effects. In my case, in this production, I use filters and even a noise gate plugin so that it creates a little bit of variation to the arrangement before the typical bar comes back in again. This is quite conventional in the electronic music industry or production sessions. In this case, I actually have a drum that is already filtered, also being added with an echo delay, and with my other instruments, I've also added a bit of noise gating. Now I use this VST called A1 trigger gate. What I like about this is you can gate it and also add an echo delay over here. So this is very powerful and it's free. I'll link you guys the link for this VST itself on the description box down below. But for now, as you can see during this bar, from here to here, I've added a high cut frequency. So it sort of like creates the drums to be a lot more mellow at this point of the arrangement. As it goes from 73 to 89, somewhere around 73, it goes back up to the main drums frequency levels as per normal. But at the same time, I've added in the mix and the echo of the A1 trigger gate. So it creates a different kind of drum variation itself. For the instruments itself, I've added the mix of the A1 trigger gate, the noise gating. So this will create more of like another kind of arrangement that's sort of like more choppy and more vibrant in terms of the whiteness itself. Here's the drum with the filters. You can see the drums is really hitting down on that low end. I'll let you guys listen how the drums sort of evolve together with the gated part of the synths. Now yes, you guys can hear that the gated part of the instruments and also the drums filtering back up together with the echo delay. So that is one powerful transition. Now the last tip is basically to add macros into your sound design or your synths. Now why I say this is because this is a lot more personalized and non-conventional with the other producers around. It's very personalized to you as a sound designer. It allows you to showcase what kind of sounds that you can create, and these sounds basically evolve from one bar to the next bar, and this will create a lot more of like a personality within the song itself. Let's check it out with me using Massive X. I'm gonna just show you guys what I have right now on this session. The ones you see in green are all the sound characteristics, and these are the macro knobs which adjust a lot of things in the sound design. It adjusts the filter, it adjusts the phase modulation, it also adjusts some gating within the sound design of Massive X. Now let me just give you an example of me playing this area where you can hear the sound actually evolving in terms of the main synth. That is basically the bass going up from the filter low end to the high end. I'm gonna let you guys listen to the ups as well that sort of like evolve. This is quite an interesting one. So as you can hear, my up sort of like evolves from a lower frequency to the higher frequency. It gives a bit of sparkle, a bit of movement and evolution to my synthesis. So if you look into Massive X, the ones on top here are all your macro knobs. I've assigned this macro knob to a couple of parameters here. In this case for this synth is the phase modulation, wavetable effect here that is changing and oscillating wavetable 1, also the white noise, the frequency and also the level. So there's a lot of intricacies of sound design here, especially in terms of knowing where your frequencies and your levels are and which are the parts that you're going to move within the arrangement itself. Now if you guys are interested to know more about my thought process and how I arrange and mix my wave music with all these tips implied into the production session, you guys can check out some of my videos. I'm going to link one of them that I pretty like over here. Let me know in the comments if you guys have other ideas on how to do your transitions as well. Now remember to smash that like button if you guys really like this video and subscribe to my channel. Hit that post notification bell button so whenever I release new wave techniques and production tips, sessions and stuff like that, you guys will get notified. My name is Vibe Synthetic. It's been a pleasure to see you guys again on YouTube, and I hope to see you guys on the next video. Hope you guys have a good day. I'm bouncing off. Vibe Synthetic. Peace.
Pick up the phone.